My name is Saskia Harkema. I'm CEO and founder of Foundation Faces of Change. And together with the Initiative for Diversity, Inclusion and Peace, we have developed a Train the Trainer, educating peace builders and impact leaders. And in this video, we will be telling you about our training, and you will also have a chance to get to know some of the participants of the training that we have recently kicked off and that we aim to roll out on a larger scale. Our target groups, our target group is small grassroots NGOs who are working on the ground day and night to contribute towards peace.
Hello, my name is Shumaila Anwar. I'm the CEO and the founder of Initiative for Diversity, Inclusion and Peace. We have collaborated with the Faces of Change for the program Train the Trainers. Peace is as beautiful and pure as mother's love. I believe that every individual in society tries to build peace in his or her own way. Individuals may not be acquainted with the expression peace building and may not know that their work is contributing towards a peaceful society. For me, peace has a very personal meaning because I have grown up dreaming for peace in our land. I'm from the most unfortunate land of Kashmir, that is a disputed territory between India and Pakistan. We have been suffering the violence and brutalities of Indian armed forces for the last 73 years. Could you imagine when children are blinded with the pellet guns, hundreds of women are victimized by systemic violence, and thousands of young people are brutally killed? When intellectuals and PhD scholars are forced to put down their pens and choose the violent means to carry on their struggle? When mothers mourn for their young children, peace literally has no meaning. But the more we face the violence, the stronger we desire for peace in our land. Indian atrocities witnessed unprecedented hike since August 5, 2019, with an imposition of Indian Citizenship Amendment Act and revoking Article 378, that was a special status of state of Jammu and Kashmir in Indian Constitution. People in Kashmir are cut off from the rest of the world as the Indian government has banned Indian internet services and imposed strict curfew for the last 1 year. I repeat, strict curfew for the last 1 year. Our colleague Advocate Baba Qadri, who was a peace activist, has been brutally assassinated by the Indian security forces in Kashmir. We were working on both bottom-up and top-down model of peace in Kashmir, and we designed 3 steps for it: intrastate dialogues, interstate dialogues, and the regional dialogues. We were not only focused on building peace in Kashmir, but we were also concerned about the regional peace and stability at the same time. We believe that regional peace is related to the peace in Kashmir, and ultimately it will reach to the world. Unfortunately, a voice for the peace has been silenced by the peace enemies. There is not any hope for peace dialogues between India and Pakistan in the near future, as India has been continuously refusing peace proposals. I'm afraid the extremist approach by the Indian leader will not only destabilize the region, but also the world will bear its consequences. As you see, peace has a very special meaning in my life. Therefore, we have collaborated with the Faces of Change on this Train the Trainer program so that we can train the small NGOs and can create bigger impact to resolve the conflict peacefully. Thank you.
My name is Saskia Harkema. I'm CEO and founder of Foundation Faces of Change. Faces of Change is a Dutch NGO which was set up in 2010 in the Netherlands. Our mission is to challenge present thinking about refugees, displaced people, and disenfranchised and marginalized groups of people, which stereotype them as helpless victims and primarily frames them within a political and economic context. We focus on the individual whom we want to support in becoming a valued member of society by tapping into his or her talents, educating them and offering them the tools and knowledge to become agents of change. Our ultimate goal is to contribute to peace. One of the programs that Face of Change has developed is ImpactLeaders International. ImpactLeaders International is offering people a community of inspiration, education, incubation, and cooperation so that they will develop leadership over their future and dedicate their life to solving the needs of society. Our world needs everyone to help solve problems and needs, in our view, and our efforts are geared to support dislodged people to participate in society by turning them into leaders of social impact. If we look at the world, we see a divided and turbulent world. COVID-19 acts as a magnifying glass which has visualized the inequality and poverty in the world, resulting from conflicts and an unequal distribution of wealth. The inability of our institutional framework to deal with this very complex situation is also apparent as the social fabric of many societies throughout the world crumble at the expense of disenfranchised, marginalized, and disempowered groups of people. We see education as a means to rebuild trust, create new pathways for the future, make an impact, and work towards peace through cross-border and multidisciplinary collaboration. Our approach to education is inside out, starting always with individual change, for which we have developed a model. And we see community building as an important stepping stone to integrate peace building in communities and societies. We want to develop a value proposition for peace. In our view, the driving force and shaping force of peace are value systems, norms, values, beliefs, and practices, which are the building blocks of all our efforts to achieve peace. They shape individuals, define communities, and form the pillars upon which societies are built. Our slogan is, let's make business of peace. We've developed a Train the Trainer, which is about rebuilding trust, creating impact, and working towards peace. As I mentioned earlier, we choose for an inside-out approach to create new pathways to contribute to peace. It goes through different phases. It starts with understanding the world and your place in it. The second phase is creating pathways to a new future. And the third phase is shaping the future. It's an online program for peace and impact. You see here the overview of the program, which we will explain more in detail in the rest of the video. What is our view on peace building? Shumaila Anwar has shared her very personal perspective on peace, and we see it as a process. Our training goes through different phases of the peace building process: becoming a peace builder, building a community for peace, and advocating for peace. You see here this model which we have developed. You see here the stages we described in the peace building process, and you see also the different phases that I mentioned and described earlier. We are using a framework of Change, developed by Otto Scharmer, Theory U, and we have adapted it for this very purpose. Theory U goes through different stages: discovering, dreaming, designing, and delivering. Discovering starts with understanding yourself. It is about self-awareness, understanding your patterns of behavior and your ways of thinking. Dreaming takes you into the realm of possibilities and brings you into the second phase, the creating individual pathways for the future. This is where you start designing and eventually also delivering to shape the future. You will hear more in detail about these different phases that participants go through in our training. Who is our target group? What is our target group? We are focusing on small grassroots NGOs in different parts of the world, because they often are the ones that are really working on the ground with people. We have kicked off our train the trainer with organizations from South America, Pakistan, Turkey, Syria, and Africa. And I will be interviewing one of the participants of the training.
Good evening. I'm here to interview one of our participants of the Train the Trainer program. His name is Adam El-Haj from Sudan, and he's currently living in the Netherlands. He's founder of the Center for Entrepreneurship in Exile, to be based in the north of Uganda. Why are you following our Train the Trainer program to learn, educate future peace builders and impact leaders, Adam?
Hi, Pim. Thank you for having me. Yes, my direct answer, I was looking for knowledge. As you mentioned, I'm starting up a program in northern Uganda, trying to support or find some support to the refugees who are living in the north of Uganda. And yes, I was thinking about how best I can deal with the refugees in an exile context, which is not easy. So that was my main motivation. Let's say like that.
It's giving back to your community initiative. I really like that. What did you learn from the training so far? Now we're almost halfway, huh?
Yes, I learned a lot. I learned a lot in terms of what I was looking for. Trying to reflect on the change process and how things connect to each other, and how you can link things to each other, and how you can convert challenges to opportunities. That was a great learning opportunity. So I learned that aspect.
It's good to hear. It's so do you see it that in the future you will use this as this training program as an activity in your center?
Yes, and that's why I'm joining this program. The training materials and the coaching sessions that you guys going with us step by step, it gives us deep insight and also deep understanding to how best you can use these tools among your group, so we can use these materials among our refugees group.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's called. We're talking about peace builders and impact leaders. Do you see that you need, let's say, both in the north of Uganda or south of Sudan?
Yes, indeed. Among our target group, which are refugees, peace and leadership, it's related. If you want to work among them, I think peace is very important. If there is a peace in their own country, they will not be refugees. So yes, and being refugee in this context is really difficult for them. And if you can learn some techniques, or all of us, also our team, to lead them or to come up with initiative, like try to redirect them to the right direction, that would be great.
So that they can set up their own business and become more self-sustainable. Don't depend so much on UNHCR or organizations like that. So it's really a nice combination of peace and prosperity that you're looking for also to establish with your initiative.
Exactly, and that's also our goal, trying to deal with also their own problems, like their social problems, the context problems. So that's exactly our goals.
That's amazing. Very good. Thank you very much, Adam, and see you in the next masterclass.
Thank you, Atsmat.
Hello, my name is Saadet, and I'm the education leader for MENA region and one of the founding members for ImpactLeaders International. Why peace important to me? Because it gives me a sense of belonging to a world where people are happy, equal, connected, innovative, and transformative. ImpactLeaders International, together with the Face of Change, kicked off their online training, Train the Trainer program, educating Peacebuilders and Impact Leaders, participants representing NGOs in 5 continents. We believe in ripple effect. Our training is provided by a multidisciplinary group of people, professors, academics, international aid agency workers, business community workers, and all together we can build strength and in numbers to the future of peace to our world. I'm going to be talking about inner peace, inside and out, or being in peace. Is about discovering process and experiences going on within ourselves. Being in peace with ourselves helps us to build and shape how we transfer by being in peace to make the relational and cultural change that is needed for social change to occur within our immediate families, communities, workplaces, etc. Visioning the future, we ask the participants in our program to analyse their world using the vision exercise, to explore the process that shape how to explore pathways to peace building. More specifically, it requires a vision of what a just, peaceful future looks like and how being in peace fits into larger picture. We are continuously caught up in the present. Often we are unable to think about tomorrow. Tree of Life visioning exercise, inner peace building or being in peace building provides an opportunity where we came from, how did we get here, where do we want to go, and what we would like to achieve, and plan for how and what we need to do when we get there. I have a PowerPoint presentation which I will share with you. And this is about inner peace, working from inside out. As it says there, we can develop inner peace by fostering, enriching healthy communication, mindfulness, and culturally relevant practices. The importance of inner peace and being in peace is to take an advantage of our hearts, our minds, and in our actions. Inner peace is the fundamental doctrine in building peace within ourselves. Only then can we build peace with the communities we live or work in. Consolidating peace within ourselves enriches not only ourselves, but helps us to build and to protect the social fabrics of our societies. It directs us to embrace fairness, diversity, equality, and sports sustainability. Finding inner peace gives us generosity. We learn to forgive, provides us with kindness. It's the heart of the social competence, relationship and connection. Empathy, ability to understand what other people are experiencing. Communication, words set the culture. Building and sustaining relationship within our immediate circle of friends, in our workplaces, and within our broader communities. To build social emotional intelligence involves being able to recognize and manage feelings appropriately in ourselves, as well as understanding what other members of our community are feeling. And finally, I would leave you with these words. Our inner journey towards peace starts with you, starts with me. Achieve inner peace and we will achieve world peace. Thank you on behalf of Impact Leaders International.
I'm sitting here with one of the participants of our Train the Trainer, Nursia Afridi, and she comes from Pakistan, and I'm very happy that I'm going to interview her. Nursia, can you tell a little bit about your organization?
Hi, good morning, Saskia. Thank you so much for inviting me for this interview. I'm super excited to be the part of this interview. Yeah, you mentioned my name, so I'm working for a women organization. Its name is Savera, and we are working for women empowerment and women education in the tribal areas of Pakistan. Our organization is basically focusing on women and minority rights and girls' education in the tribal region. This is called FATA. So we are working for these rights, and because I'm also from conflict zone, so for me the peace is too much important. So
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Can you say why you decided to follow this training, educating peace builders and impact leaders?
Because I am from the conflict zone, and this training content which I read about, it's means it will give me inner side and it will make me strong from my inside, and also I learned about how we can contribute in our society peacefully, how we can build the peace in our society, because the change start with individual power. If I will be strengthened and I will be powerful, so I can contribute and I can ensure the peace in my society. And also the impact of this training, I can see that whatever I will learn from this training, I will teach to my community, to my women, how to build peace and within my community, and how to show them their power, like power of individual, and how the individual power then can collectively contribute and bring a big impact in the community and the peace building, and also economically, how I can support the women group and my community. So that's why I follow this training.
So an important element is to transfer the knowledge so that you can transfer it within your community. The training starts with an inner journey, and one of the instruments we use is the tree of life. How was it for you to make this tree of life, which brings you back to your roots, your values, your norms?
Yeah, this exercise was too much interesting for me, because before that I never done my tree of life. We were working on like strength, SWOT analysis, and also the problem trees. But before this, I never done the like tree of life. And when I was working on this assignment and this exercise, so I was thinking deeply inside, like, what is my strength? What are my roots and what are my branches, achievements, and everything. So it was super excited I was super excited about this exercise because it gave me more energy to think about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are now more or less halfway through the training. What is the most important lesson that you gathered so far from this training?
From this training, the most important for me is like we are connected with different peoples and this training, different minds, and we are thinking differently, but at the end, we are thinking same, like we are trying to get knowledge, we are trying to exchange knowledge with each other, experiences, sharing, and also how we can contribute as an individual, how we can learn from this training and how we can contribute in our community, in our society.
So you're saying because we have participants from Africa, from the Middle East, from Latin America, that this is also very, you're learning a lot also from them because you're discovering the commonalities. Once you finish the training, the idea is that you will start working with your community. Do you already have ideas how you want to start working with your community and your organization with this training?
Initially I have planned it once this training will be over. So I will start to teach with the women group in my community because I'm a woman and I especially focusing on girls and women. And they have more power and more thinking, and I want to work with them about the peace building because then they can teach to their children, teach their mind to don't go to be involved in the conflict activities. Make a conflict at the household level. So my plan is that first I will work with girls and women in my community.
So you see women and girls as kind of also important facilitators to transfer this knowledge to children. Okay, thank you very much, Nursia, and we are very happy that you joined this training. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pim de Box. I'm a serial entrepreneur from the Netherlands, inspiring others to become entrepreneurs since 2000. I'll be your guide on the second part of our journey through our trainers program. We're going to design the future and deliver peace. Now you see in the overview of our program that the switch from dreaming to designing takes place during the 4th week. Participants will reflect on their discoveries and dreams and use that to formulate their personal mission. With that in mind, they are going to learn how to develop a value proposition for peace and prosperity. And yes, we're very much inspired by Cilla Elworthy. She says peace is possible, and she wants us to make it our business. We see peace as something we should approach as a business because it creates value. Therefore, it's important to define what kind of benefit peace can create and what the underlying model is that supports peace building. And we know that peace can only be sustained with prosperity for all. Therefore, that's also our business. And yes, we'll be using many startup tools to design our value proposition and turn it into business. To help the NGOs design a value proposition they can use in their reality, we start halfway the training, the SDG challenge. The teams will work on their challenge guided by one of our trainers and develop a value proposition for peace and prosperity and validate it during the final, where they will demonstrate their pitch for peace. And no, we don't work with all the 17 goals. We made the scope smaller and chose 2 of them, number 10 and 16. For obvious reasons, we chose 16 around peace and justice. But we also choose SDG 10 that revolves around reducing inequalities, because we argue that this is a great measure of impact on society. and it has a profound influence on reducing conflict and sustaining peace. In the 5th week, we'll train our participants to generate ideas for solving problems in their community. We'll teach them the ideation exercise they can also use in their trainings. It will help identify driving forces in their community, build scenarios, spot opportunities, and select the ideas that are worthwhile working on. And who knows what great ideas will come up to bridge the gap between haves and have-nots in their community. In the 6th week, we'll use a value proposition workshop to turn the ideas into value. Looking into target groups, what are their needs, what solutions will fit their needs best, and what can we learn from that? That should be really at the core of the value proposition of that NGO. Since they say that peace comes from within, what will happen if all these peaceful people will work together on developing solutions that will enable peace? True value propositions worth investing in. Imagine that. See, in the last week, we'll train the trainers how to make that value proposition actionable through business modeling, pitching, and advocating. Because on the final day, they will validate their business model, their value proposition, during Pitch for Peace, which will be proof of the pudding and work that makes and is the test for is it worthwhile investing in this. And yes, it's a lot of work. Peace and prosperity don't come easy. But the good thing about our method is that it makes solving threats to peace and prosperity actionable and turning them into opportunities that inspire people. And it's not just this training that we make available. There's also a trainer's handbook, video courses, a online toolbox, and we have a support community that help implement the program locally. So are you interested in this training that will help locally to develop peace builders and impact leaders? Contact us through our website or email or a WhatsApp message. And then we can work together on generating more peace builders and impact leaders around the world. Thank you very much.